Morning, lovely viewer. Well, as you can see, I'm getting my hands dirty today. Now, we're going to do a bit of a tour. There's a few things that I want to do in this video, but as you will see, I'm going to need to chop this video up and edit it down to do what I want to do. But the first thing that I want to do is unpot rose Lark Ascending, a David Austin rose. And this is a rose, it's been inside this pot for 3 years. I want to get it out and look at the roots. Now, for reference, this pot, it measures 23 inches across and it measures 19 inches deep. And this rose, it has been inside this pot for 3 years. Now, the Lark Ascending is not a rose that they say is suitable for container planting, but I put this rose in here anyway, and it's not gonna be able to stay in here. I did extract this rose from this pot at the beginning of this year, and I could see that there was still some growth left in this pot, but I'm pretty certain now that she's going to need shifting, and I have created a space for her just in the corner over here, so that's where she's going to go. She's a rose that grows a good 5 feet, 6 feet tall by 5-6 feet wide, so this pot was never going to last indefinitely, but I think it will be interesting to see the roots. You know, normally when we plant roses, we plant them in pots and that's it. We don't really get to see what's going on beneath the soil. Now, at the beginning of this year, when I extracted it, it was dry and it come out in a beautiful sort of clump. You see, I've got the Bud Union Proud just here. I tipped it on its side and it come out in a beautiful clump. But this year, it is wetter, and I'm pretty certain that it's not gonna stay together. But we're gonna check these roots out. Now, there is an amount of wood chippings on the top here, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this soil, but I'm getting rid of the wood chippings first of all. I'm just spreading these out across the bed here. This is all soapwort that grows here. No, as I suspected, this isn't going to be as easy as it was last year. Last year I used a saw, the blunt edge of a saw, pushed it down to hug the side of the pot, and that's just with the blunt side, it's hugging the side of the pot. I kind of loosened it and then I was able to pull it out, but this year it's not going to do it, I don't think. But I can see straight away with you know, this is, you can't see it too well here, but we've already got the matted sort of roots all the way up to the surface. But we'll crack on, we will get this out. You see, we're going round now. Slowly we're going round, but it's the hole that I've got, or the space that I've got over there, is not big enough to take this entire clump anyway, even if it was to come out in one clump. So I'm gonna have to trim the roots back. Gonna get all that soil off it, trim the roots back, look at it bare root. Right, well, as you can see, I did manage to get it out of the pot in relatively one clump. There's not that much soil in there, so relatively one clump, but you can see here all of the roots very close to the surface, this matted sort of stuff that does the drinking. But down the side, you know, it doesn't look that bad at the moment. It doesn't look that bad at the moment, and this is what I saw last year. And when you jig it up, you haven't got that. You can see the polystyrene that I use for the drainage, but there's no you know, thick clumps where it is clearly root bound. But there's nothing left in that pot for next year. There's nothing left, so we're gonna knock some more soil off, have a closer look at the roots. I want this root ball just a bit smaller before planting it back over there. See, getting down to the bigger roots now, and all I'm doing is, for the time being, I'm just teasing it, tickling it, giving it, trying to keep these roots intact, trying to get it down to the size hole that I want. And any of the bigger, thicker roots, we'll see if we can see those, and if they need cutting back to get in my hole, we will see. But we're going to keep going for now. Well, as you can see there, I've got it out, and there's a trowels just for some size comparison. But it was actually a lot easier than I thought. The weather conditions, this moisture content was perfect for just shaking the soil out and leaving the roots intact. I've taken roses out of pots before, and a lot of the roots they can break away if it's too dry, but here it was just perfect. And I have to say that I'm surprised at the I'm surprised to see that the root ball isn't bigger after 3 years. Let me see if I can just hold that up there somewhere. Can you see that? I've got to perhaps move it back a little bit. I don't know if you can see that because I can't actually see the screen. But that is after 3 years. Lark Ascending. Lark Ascending, just there. Oh, that's giving me masturbator's cramp, so I'm going to have to put it down. In fact, I'm going to put it down there. Right, well, there you go. She's in the Lark Ascending, and this is her new home in the ground where she belongs. And it went in nice and easy. There was no big roots that I had to trim back, you know, thick roots. It was just mainly that fine matted stuff, so it went in there perfectly fine. But I have had, the day has not gone according to plan. We've done a few changes, and I've decided to move these roses around. These are the Timeless collection, and I don't know if I could be able to put in a shot before, but these were 3 feet apart only this morning, and I've now changed that. We've now got a gap of 16 inches. This is Timeless Purple and this is Timeless Charisma, and the gap that we've got here is now 14 inches, and both of these are Timeless Charisma. And I've decided to just squeeze things a little bit closer together. I do apologise about the wind. Now, they say the roses should be 2.5 feet apart between varieties, 2.5, 3 feet apart, and that's great. All being well, you know, if we had unlimited space, then of course we would do that. But the problem I've got, and the problem that perhaps many of you have got, is we're limited on space. I've got so many roses, and I'm looking where to put them. So because these have only been in the ground a year, I managed to dig a couple of them up very easily. They come up nice, and I've just decided to squeeze them together just a bit more so I could get more roses in. Now, there is a danger with false economy when it comes to squeezing these roses in, because what this means now is I'm just going to have to be a bit more careful when it comes to pruning these back. So I get it, there possibly is a bit of false economy going on, but what does a man do when you've got so many roses? And I sent a message to Gav earlier. I have decided to squeeze them in a bit more, because when I've been to rose gardens, including David Austin's rose garden, I've seen many roses that they really squeeze in tight together, including Lark Ascending. Lark Ascending is a huge rose, you know, grows 5-6 feet big. And when I went to David Austin's, I saw a group of the Lark Ascending, and there were some of them less than a foot apart, as far as I could tell. Very, very tight together. So, you know, if I see these in rose gardens, if I see them at David Austin, I've decided to give it a go. To get them, I do apologise about the wind, to get them just that little bit closer together. But I will have to be a little bit mindful of that false economy and prune them back just that little bit more, just so I can squeeze them all in. Now, this does leave me with this lovely big area here, and I'm hoping to get some of the Parfuma collection in here. I want to get at least 2 Summer Romance just here, a Royal Parfuma, Dark Desire, a First Crush or possibly a Fruity Parfuma just here, and what I really want to get is Earth Angel in just there. Of all the roses I have, Earth Angel is the one that I want to see do well. You see it in North America, it always looks fantastic. Lovely sort of flower. It didn't do well for me here this year particularly, but I do want to see it do well, and that's where it's going to go, just here. So we will see. Now, the other thing I wanted to say is, when I planted these roses, there was an amount of clay at the bottom of the holes, and I've extracted the clay, and in the bottom of the holes I've put some John Innes number 3, and this is the stuff. It does contain peat, and I don't know what your opinions are on peat, but this is the stuff. It's very difficult to get hold of now. Normally when you buy John Innes number 3, you see a little sign here that says peat-free content. So to see this without a sign here, very, very difficult to get hold of. And in my experience, whilst I don't use insecticides, pesticides, sprays or anything like this in my garden, in my experience I have seen that the roses, the roots, they do go crazy over this John Innes number 3, especially the peat free stuff. So that's what I've put in the bottom of the hole, mixed it with the soil, and then just backfilled with soil. And I think that'll be a good start for them. Now, the garden centres, they are all changing over to peat free stuff, and you know, I have read information and seen information that the peat farmers, they do a good job, but the decision's been made, there's no more peat free stuff. So when I saw this bag, I thought I would grab it. It's only 10 litres, and with that 10 litres I've managed to plant just literally a few handfuls in the bottoms of all of these holes. Now, before I sign off, there's something I wanted to say, and that is, there is a lady, she has a YouTube channel by the name of, I believe it's Small Backyard Fun, and she has got an amazing garden and an amazing collection of roses. And my channel is bigger than hers, and that is so unjust, because her garden is immaculate. She doesn't do talking like I do, but she does play good music, and she puts together some fantastic content. So if you want to check out her channel, I'll put a name at the bottom of the description here. Please do. But it is a channel that I particularly like. Where these are going to move to, I don't know. But I've got to clean up. Right, lovely viewer, I hope you have a lovely day.